Are you ready? Give us a thumbs up. Alright, so welcome back to the channel. As promised, we're going to do a tour of our pigeon sheds. This is my granddad, Hamid, and he's the guy who's going to talk us through everything that goes on.
Hello, my name is Hamid, Hamid Lakwan. I've been keeping pigeons since I was 10 years old. I used to have tumblers or high flyers when I was a kid, but now these days, for the last 40 years, I've been keeping and raising, breeding pigeons, which I can raise them, basically racing pigeons. I live in Portsmouth, UK, England, yeah, and I'll show you my pigeons and the system I raise them.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
Right, we'll come over then. Right, talk us through this first shed then. What are we going to find in here?
Well, I'll show you in a minute, but this one, the first one is my old bird racing pigeons. The middle one is my young bird, and also the last one is going to be my stock birds, which I keep my breeding pigeons in there. Yeah, if I wanna, I'll start you from the first one from the end, which is the stock bird. I'll show you. If you come this way, please.
Yeah. So if you don't know what a stock bird is, those are birds that you buy that aren't bred here, so you can't release them because they will leave, but they're bought because their genes or they're attractive and they're just good to breed from.
Yes. Well done, George. Mind your head here.
Well, carry on.
This is this little garden here is where we keep
Our Greek spurred-thighed tortoise,
tortoise,
who's currently continuing to go in and out of sleep as the weather gets warmer and colder at this time of the year.
Yeah, he's been out today actually, and he had a good feed and walked to bed, and earlier, about an hour ago, put it.
Yeah. Soon his enclosure will grow out all nice in the summer with all the plants have been put in.
Yeah. Mind your head.
Mind your head on the
Right. This is my stock bird. These are the pigeons I buy to breed from. These are mainly Belgian or Dutch pigeons. Okay.
So how many are roughly in here? Do you know?
I got 4 pairs of stock birds, which is they race them long distance, like 600 miles, and another pair they're sprint racing, anything from 70 miles to 400 miles, but they fly fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, so for reference, let me pop in.
Yeah. You want to go in?
Yeah.
All right.
So for reference to the people watching.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let me hold it. That's all right. I'll hold on.
Anyway, grab that red one. No, the red one down there. I want.
Put that now.
You're alright. They won't fly out. So. Right. This red one here, we took pictures of not even that long ago to show. And in that picture, if you check out online, it's literally grown all of its colours out now, and that's how quick they grow. So how old? Around about?
No, this is an old one.
No.
This is the young ones is another shed.
Oh, you've moved them since I was last here?
Yeah, that's gone to another shed now.
Oh, well, anyway, how old? Breeding
This is about a year old.
Right.
This is a distance pigeons. Obviously,
Male.
it's a male one.
It's a male on the camera.
The reason is definitely male. You can see the black splashes on the wing. Yeah, all the males got that. So I only breed from this one. There's a big fight going on, isn't there?
Oh wow, brand new. How old? Tell them.
These are 2 youngsters just hatched today.
Today. Wow.
Yeah.
That's the 26th of March then. Wow. Yeah?
Yeah.
Brand new babies.
Hopefully they'll be future champions. So what happens from the pairing to laying the eggs, it takes about 8 to 10 days, and from laying the eggs to hatch takes about 18 days, and from the moment they hatch and I can let them out, when they put them on the roof, they'll be like 24 days old when I put them out.
So how long from being born are you confident to take them out for racing and training?
Oh no, put it in there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. As it'll be about, when they are 6 months old, they'll be ready for racing. But I start training them when they are 3 months old.
Okay, so these ones up here, I'll grab those.
Yeah,
How old are these?
yeah, yeah.
Show that to the camera. How old are these ones?
These are about 12 days old.
Yeah, so that's the rapid growth. In just 11 days,
Yeah.
they've gone from being that big to that big. So they've
Yeah.
tripled their size.
From that size, you just watch. They had no feathers at all. And it takes about 12 days. 12, 14 days. And when they are 3 weeks old, I take them away and I put them in their own section, and they grow. They eat by themselves, and when they're 4 weeks old, they can fly to the roof and come down. The first 4 weeks, they grow really fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, you still recording?
All right.
Still working now? Right, is it worth mentioning what's
Yeah,
just behind here?
yeah,
Yeah, come. So, it's just, what's this? Why have we got a segregation here? What's going on?
That's a new stock birds
So
I
brand
bought.
new, just introduced?
Yeah, just introduced. So I kept them separate. So
Okay.
they are a distance flying. So it cost me about £200
Wow.
for that pair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully they breed me some champions.
Yeah. Okay. Just a little brief overview of the shed.
Yeah.
The sheds were pre-built, but all of the wrapping
Yeah.
systems, the separations,
Yeah.
and in and outs are all homemade.
Yeah, it's these boxes, the standard boxes, but I made them myself. I just copied them from a newspaper. and if I just show, the food I give them is very small seed, standard breeding seed, mixture for youngsters born. They just born.
Brilliant.
So, yeah,
Right, and they're
just
put down
commercial.
there in this trap here. Show that. They're
Yeah.
put down there in this trap alongside water. And anything different in there?
There's a different, the same food. Yeah, because
in a different tray.
yeah, I give them breeding mixture, breeding food.
Right. Final thing for the shed then. So are these all the eggs in here are real eggs, fertile?
Yeah, they're fertilized. And over there you can see they got grit, mixed grit,
Yep.
minerals basically, pink minerals and picky stones. With pigeons, they need that when they are breeding youngsters.
Yeah.
So
Do you have any fake eggs, or are they all fertile?
I do
at the
have,
moment?
not here.
We'll talk about that in a minute then.
Yeah,
Right. On to the
got-
next shed then. Right. Is there nothing else you want to say about that one? That's sorted, right?
No, these are just for breeding purposes. These pigeons.
Right, next up we're going to go into the juvenile setup. Just behind you up there, we've got a few wanting to go in, almost ready.
Yeah,
They've just done their training.
They've been out exercising
Yeah.
over the last 2 hours, and they're just about to go in, basically.
So the pigeons are let out for what? Every day for a few hours?
Once a day for 4 hours I let them out. They exercise, have a look around, and then they come in to eat their dinner.
Yeah, and it also allows them to continue practicing as a flock, and it teaches them how to enter their trap.
Yeah.
You made this trap, didn't you?
Yeah, see this trap? Yeah. This is the one I copied again, and I made it myself. It's a lot cheaper. To buy this about 250 quid, but I made it, it cost me about £30 to make this.
And the reason was because you wanted them to come straight down in, because we have our pigeons, well, you have your pigeons return quite quickly, but they take a while to go in, don't they?
That's right, yeah.
So
Sometimes,
hopefully it's a bit higher up they can go in.
Yeah.
And you've also got water here, which is quite nice. It lets them see their surroundings a bit more.
yeah, so you can see outside, and it's a landing board. I increase it, make it a bit wider.
All right. Just before we go in, then show this.
This is the name of my loft, hilsea loft.
Yeah.
And also I've got a website.
Yep. Just search up hilsealofts.com.
For new beginners, if they want to search hilsea loft for new beginners, for a few tips, useful tips in there, how to raise them, basically how to feed them, train them. Okay.
Right. Let's
So
go in.
this
Oh,
one-
just before we go in, talk about what that is.
Right, this is basically a cage I put the youngsters before they can go on the roof and fly. I keep them here for 2-3 days, and they start learning what the garden looks like, memorize the garden, where they live. So when they start flying away, they come back. You know, basically have a good look around the garden, they do, and then I let them out. And then they come back.
Yeah, so it's done in stages. You let them in here where they're safe and they won't go, and then you put them in this cage on the roof, don't you?
That's right, I'll put the cage on the roof.
And then eventually just put them on the roof, and then they're able to start flying just like those juveniles. So these are the juveniles, right?
Yeah.
How old around, do you know?
They're 3 months old.
3 months old, the ones on that roof on the camera?
Yeah, they're born January. This year.
Okay, right, let's go
2005.
Wow. 2025? It's not 2005.
Sorry, 2002.
Right, let's go in. Yeah.
Well, these are the youngsters. The first one on the top, they're born January 2025, and the one on the floor, they are younger. They cannot fly yet.
I just keep. See? Nan, do you want to get a better angle of that?
Yeah.
So you can see that their hair is much more yellow on the tops as well, unlike things like him.
They cannot fly yet. So these are the one I keep in the cage, so they can looking around and learn where the garden is. And so when they fly away, they come back. That's the idea. Right.
So another thing to cover, obviously. So keeping these a lot of animals is going to take a lot of maintenance, right?
Yeah.
So how long does it take you every day to clean up all of these sheds?
About 1 hour.
About 1 hour.
1.5 hours.
And that's every day, isn't it?
Every day I clean every day, scrape the floor.
Brilliant.
And after I clean the floor, I feed them and give them clean water.
Well, you scrape with this, don't you?
Yeah, another one I've got is a bit bigger than this.
Yeah, and it all just gets loaded into dustbins and you fill up their water. They all have the same feeding setup, don't they?
Yeah, again, you can see they got minerals. These are essential minerals. They need grips, and also the feeder over there. Yeah, there's a baby behind your feet.
Yeah, I see him.
So these are like 3 weeks old, so they cannot fly even to the perch. So they're very young.
Yeah. So let's just.
You can pick up that one. Pick that red one there, so you can shoot. Yeah. So that's about 3 weeks old. So that's 3 weeks old, yeah. And in a week from now, they can be on the roof.
Yeah, so just while we're here on the matter, just what do we have sort of, so medication and things like that?
That's a minerals, basically we call pigeon.
Yep.
And that one is a powder I put on them. They kill all the little insects.
Yeah, like parasites and things.
Yeah, that's right. I put it on the rings, and also
all your bands as well for their legs, because all of your pigeons have to be banded for your races.
They all got rings. Let me grab one.
Yeah. Oh right, okay. So they all have their own rings, and they've got personal colours. Is that to say when they were born?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay.
So if you look at the rings, it says GB25. And then every pigeon got a number. This one is like V21603. So this pigeon is registered by RPRA, basically, in my name. So if this...
Yeah, so say that what it is, that's Royal Pigeon Society.
That's right.
They're saying that this bird is number 2160, born in Great Britain, 2025. Yeah,
under mine. So when I raise them, they must have this ring on, this number, otherwise... Oh, I cannot read.
So actually, a lot of them have these coloured bands. So you've got your greens and your yellows and your purples. Is that age?
No, it tells me basically that's what I do to know. They're born in January. That's for myself. And the one in green down there, they're born like I just weaned them recently. Yeah. So these are about 2 months younger.
Yeah, so another separation here as well. We literally built this quite recently. It's a bit dodgy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But so what's this for?
Well, that partition is later on when I raise the pigeons. I separate the hens from the cocks. It's a system of raising. You keep the sexes separate. So when I raise the cocks, I keep the hens in there. So just before I send the cocks to raise, I show them for 5 minutes. And then I basket the cocks for racing, and when they come back, they see the hens again for about half an hour, 1 hour, and then I separate them.
Yeah, so
again.
it's a bit of motivation, isn't
Motivation, yeah,
Yeah.
kind of making the pigeons come home a lot faster to see it's
But
part
also,
of-
if you don't race hens, do you?
sometimes I
Well, you
do.
wouldn't want to race a pregnant hen, would you?
No.
Yeah,
I
so
won't.
you've got to keep them separate in the racing season.
Yeah, if it's a hen is egg just about to lay eggs, I definitely don't raise it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while we're here with juveniles, it's worth asking, how much do you produce a year in
Well,
size
because
of children?
because of the size of the shed here, I can only keep 30 youngsters, so I don't overcrowd them by breeding too many.
Yeah.
Just enough.
Yeah, and
30 is plenty
a
for me.
sustainable amount throughout the year. So
Yeah.
what months of the year are you looking at reproducing? All through the year?
No,
Off season?
I just I paired them. I paired them on a Boxing Day last year, and basically I breed 2 lots from them, from their stock birds, and that's it. Then no more youngsters. 30 youngsters is plenty for me. And that's it.
Expensive.
There
isn't
are
it?
people who breed a lot young, maybe 100, but I only breed 30. That's enough for
How many
me.
pigeons do you send out per race, on average?
Well, the first race I sent, I got 30 I sent. Obviously I have to train them maybe up to 20 times, from 5 miles, 10 miles, and slowly I increase the distance when I train them. And when I get to 30, 35 miles, then I stop training them. And then when it comes in August, September, they go to race
Yeah.
them. So that by then they'll be 6 months old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So let's.
These
go to the
obviously
next one.
youngsters. I can race them from 70 miles up to 200 miles when they're 6 months old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Right. Talk us through this next one as we're going up. Adult.
Yeah. All right. You want to look at the youngsters again? They'll be going in again. Yeah.
This little green box is trying to get rid of all the cats. These ones now.
Yeah,
Show
these
them.
are.
Trying to get rid of cats to stop pinching the pigeons and whatnot.
The cats are all kind of nuisance they are at the moment. They keep chasing the
Oh,
pigeons.
look at him grooming up there. That's very pretty.
Yeah.
His
and
feathers are lovely. Do you see him grooming then? Can you get him?
Yeah, they clean
Just behind the
themselves.
red one.
Yeah.
Sort of.
I've got problem with the sparrowhawk at the moment.
So sally to the sparrowhawk just as we go in then. Show.
Yeah, I've got
So go
problem. I've got problem with the sparrowhawk at the moment. And this is the season the sparrowhawk raise their youngsters, so they hunt a lot, and regularly on daily basis they come here and take or kill a pigeons. So most of the times I try to keep them in.
Yeah. And also, you never really leave them out in the garden. You're generally here, but it's really good now to keep pushing their practice and pushing their speed and pushing their group work to try to reduce the losses from predation.
That's right. What I did when I let them out, they basically I keep them hungry, so they have a quick about 1 hour exercise, and because they're hungry, I don't feed them before I let them out. When I shake the tin, they come in quickly.
Yeah.
But youngsters like that, sometimes they don't listen.
Yeah, they get a bit spooked by things, don't they?
Yeah, sometimes they ignore my whistle when I call them, like youngsters, isn't it?
Yeah.
They don't always listen.
Right, into our adult shed then.
This is an old birds basing, 1 year old, 2, 3 years old they are in this loft. And I raise these pigeons from 70 miles to 600 miles. So they fly
So these
for
are
me.
our, like
you
cross-country
wanna go?
racers.
Yeah. You want to go in? Yeah. So they're not used to you, so they may spook. Yeah, get a bit.
Yeah, so this is the biggest shed of them all.
Yeah, I raise these pigeons up to 600-700 miles. They come basically on the day. They let them go out 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning. They're home by 10 o'clock at night. So it's a very, very, like a 15 hours flight.
Yeah.
Long. The breed of these pigeons, what you call Janardin, they're Belgium and Dutch kind of pigeons. And I've got youngsters again.
Did you have any fake eggs in any of these sheds?
Pardon?
Fake eggs?
Oh yeah, it's up there on that. Yeah.
Alright, so one of the things that we do, is it to prevent them breeding if you don't
because
want
I
to?
don't want too many.
Yeah.
When they lay eggs, I'll remove it and I'll put the fake eggs under them.
Yeah, so these are like hard fake eggs,
Yeah, plastic.
and sometimes we do have to remove eggs from the females because you don't want them producing too many.
Yeah.
But this will stop them breeding because they think they're looking after it.
Yeah,
It gives them
that's
something to do. They keep them warm and just presume that it's real.
Excellent. Well said, George. And I've got still some youngsters in the nest. Those youngsters, these are the last youngsters I bred for this year. And after this, about a week from now, I'll remove them and they won't breed anymore. That'll be the end of
Some
it.
more anti-parasite medication.
Yeah,
So is this
that's right.
do you
that's
dose
right.
this when you presume that there's an issue, or do you just do it regularly?
I do it once every 4 months. Every 4 months I treat them for what is called coccidiosis
Right.
and worms, and another thing is called canker.
Yes.
I do it once, basically 3 times a year I do it.
Yeah.
But if you look at the floor and all that, it seems to be, you can tell they're healthy by the dropping the.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how you can tell they're healthy.
Yeah, so you can see all of the different choices that they take when they're roosting. So, you know, will they go on the perches, in the blocks, or they go underneath blocks?
Yeah.
I mean, they're everywhere, really. And interestingly here, you've got more, what are these, all different types of food that you feed?
Yeah.
So different types when, like, treats and stuff?
Yeah, I mix that with the food, with the cod liver oil.
Oh. Nan's breakfast.
Yeah, and you see the youngsters, they look very healthy. Yeah, the youngsters look very
Yeah,
healthy.
so something to ask. Obviously,
Yeah.
sometimes birds.
Go on.
Yeah, come in. And I haven't seen anything to use it as an example, but sometimes birds come back from races okay, but injured, and you've had to sort things out. So,
Yeah.
you know, how do you go by that, and when has this happened? You know?
Well, if he's injured, I just let them rest. Depending on the injury, sometimes they recover very quickly, and sometimes they just don't fly or not for racing purposes.
Yeah.
And
So if
I
they've got a
use
broken
them-
wing, they might not recover.
Not for racing. Now I just keep them for breeding purposes.
So what about? I remember once you had an open split wound.
Yeah.
He managed to literally sew the thing back, like give it surgery, medicine, and it survived, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depending on the injury, but sometimes you can like sew the cut.
Yeah, a
and
bit of a hardcore job to do. You got to hold it down and but of course you know what you're doing, isn't it? So
years of experience. So when I raise pigeons, I only keep when I raise pigeons. I only keep the cocks here, and the hen will be in the young bird section.
Yeah.
We've just been in the partition,
yeah,
and like Friday when I send them to raise, I'll bring the hens here for like 5-10 minutes, and they go a bit crazy because they haven't seen the hen for a week.
yeah.
And then I'll basket them, and when they come back from the race, they see the hen again for a few hours, and then I'll take the hens back again, because basically hens for me is just motivate the cocks to come home quicker.
Yeah, it'll make you clock in a bit faster.
Well, because
Is this a male, by the way? Can
yeah,
you tell?
that's the male.
Yeah, so none, come with the camera. So look at this red one perched up on this food. You can tell, like earlier we said on the juveniles, you can see the black speckles, and as an adult it's so much more prominent. And then you can see the one next to it, the male is coming up to us now with the dark, and the one behind it, red, must be a female.
No, that's also.
How can you tell?
Well, it's, as a rule, they should have black on them, but that's exceptional to the rule. But I know that's a cockbird,
You know?
and that's a female.
Can you find a female to show the difference?
What, the red ones? Yeah, that's a female, right?
Oh, spooky going on. There we go. So this is a female.
That's a female hen, and it's a red color.
And a beautiful blue neck as well.
Yeah, shiny. The shine on them is basically shows how healthy they are.
So show the camera how you hold your pigeons, and because they feel quite comfortable and they don't tend to be too worried.
This one would be struggling. So I keep the 2 feet between these 2 fingers, and basically it stops them moving a lot. And then I can show the wings.
And you can just regularly check: are they healthy? Are they happy?
Well, yeah, it's a strong pigeon. Basically, the eyes is shiny and bright. The wattle here is white.
Yeah.
And I look inside.
And it's also a good position to hold on your chest, and you can feed them chickpeas and stuff if they're struggling to eat. A good way to rehabilitate them.
Look inside the mouth is healthy. They don't have canker.
All brilliant things.
The back, the back is strong. So this one is basically in a racing form. Yeah. All of them are in a racing form at the moment.
All fit and healthy.
Yeah, just need maybe a couple of training, and then they'll be all right. Ready for race.
Why don't you tell people like some of your achievements and what you do, like racing wise?
Well, I have won some races. When I started racing the first year, I won a race from France, from a city called Nantes, 250 miles. 250 miles. Yeah, about 4,000 pigeons were in the race, and I was in the first 20, but I won the club. Yep. My best achievement was in a national race, again from France, from Fouge. It was 7,000 pigeons in a race, and I was 6th. Yeah. And that was my best, basically very close to win a national race. And that's just by seconds as well. Oh yeah, it's all seconds because it's all electronic. Yeah. And this is England, the whole of England were involved in that race. It's a national race, means the whole of England basically. Yeah, so and the way the pigeon racing works is, so all of these clubs are a part of the federation. Yeah, the federation or the pigeon association. Yeah. So basically, he will take all of his pigeons, or the ones that he wants to race, to his local pigeon club, who are associated with the national races. Yeah. He will clock in his pigeons, and then that club will deal with, after he's paid a small amount, will deal with taking them to like a large facility, and then taking them, say, if it's from France. And then what happens is, obviously, they're all released at the same time. They fly back. They could be here, like, an hour before that they'd finished. And it all matters, and it comes to the last few seconds of how they go in through there. So that's why that's why you've tried to sort out the trap, because obviously when you struggle by a few seconds to clock that tap that they're in there, it's sometimes because they don't want to go into the trap. And then you just tell the club, your time. Because it's all electronic now. When the pigeons come from race, there will be a pad inside the trap. There will be and it automatically clock the pigeon in, and it will register what time to what second, for example, the pigeon arrived. And if I lose if a pigeon sits on the roof, don't come in, and I lose a minute, basically I lost the race. Yeah, because that minute is life or death, isn't it? Yeah, when they come from race, they must go in straight away. Any time wasted is basically. Yeah, and that's why you give them such vigorous training. So that's letting them out every day for the 2-3 hours. That's taking them 5, 10, 15 miles once or twice a week by car, letting them race. Yeah, and that's another reason I only race the cocks, and the hen I keep inside. Because when the pigeon come from race and they can hear the hen inside, and they go in quickly to see their hens, and there won't be any time wasted on trapping. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, hopefully. But and also, because you race them so much, you do have, not frequent, but you have quite a lot of losses, and you need to replenish those throughout the year. And obviously keep the stock healthy by introducing lots of new. So you've seen all the new breeding pairs and stock pigeons. You've just been to the show, haven't you? Just come back. That's it. There is a pigeon show. The one is in Blackpool in Winter Garden, and there is one in Epsom, like 2 or 3 times a year. And most pigeon fanciers go there and buy their stocks or whatever they need for racing. And I go there once or twice as well. and sometimes I treat myself to new pair of pigeons and try them, and I raise them or raise their youngsters, and if they are better than my own, then I keep them.
Yeah. So also, just talking about like what you've kept. So originally, I feel like you must have had more, or at least the same amount of when you were
Some
younger.
youngsters were there on the ground.
Yeah, they're just chewing at rocks and nutrients. But,
Yeah.
So yeah, you had more once or something, and then you got rid of them, didn't you? You gave it up for a little while.
Yeah, because was it personal reason I gave them up, but after a year I started again.
Yeah.
Because
You got straight back into it, didn't you?
Yeah.
But that shed down there at the end, was that for stock once, I think?
that was for stock birds, but at the moment I keep other things in there. So I used to keep widowhood hen in there, basically. Yeah.
All right, brilliant. So thank you very much. Hopefully you can find what we've said pretty interesting. And of course, continue to ask questions. And we'll answer, of course.
Yeah.
And we'll probably, in the future make some more videos about when we move away from pairing or when we move to pairing. We'll also show, whatever you ask for.
When the racing season starts, we can show them how the pigeon arrives and how they go in.
Yeah, and how we take them as well.
Yeah, that's all.
We'll also show.
When I go to club, maybe you can come and
I'll show
basket the pigeons in the club and we send them to race. Yeah. We can do all that.
What else is there to show? Just sort of like a day in the life. So I suppose if someone really cared, I'd come here a bit early and show all the effort that goes into your mornings every day and all of that.
Yeah, it's all cleaning, feeding, training.
That's the pigeon tour then. Thank you very much, Grandpa. And of course, we've got our tortoise. You've seen his enclosure. Unfortunately, he's asleep, so still have to wait a bit longer to introduce him to the channel. But thank you very much.
All right.
All right.
If you need more information about pigeons, feeding, training, racing, breeding, etc., you can visit my website, hilsea loft pigeonracing.com.
Yeah, or just search Hamid Lokvand,
right.
pigeon racing, and there's a few articles about him and his pigeons that have been successful.
Yeah.
It's all under Hilsea Lofts or Hamid Lokvand.
Pigeon racing.
Yeah, and if you can't for some reason find it, just get in contact with me and we'll pass that on anyway. All right, thank you very much.